Hello, friends. So for the past few months, I've been dating this wonderful lady. We have great chemistry, and we get along real well. We can sit around talking for hours about all sorts of things without even noticing how time flies by. Honestly, I'm so sure she's the one, and I was thinking of proposing to her, but until recently, I was a little concerned about whether she felt the same way about me. She seems to like me as well, so I'm pretty sure she would say yes. But there was one thing that, at least as of a few weeks ago, I was a little worried about. Despite my best efforts, she never laughs at any of my jokes, or really seems to find them funny at all. Oh no, granted, a lot of my jokes are pretty bad, but still, if she doesn't find me funny, then how do I know she even loves me? Anyway, a few weeks ago we're hanging out, and she tells me the important news that she's moving to Australia for a new job. Oh wow, well that'll make this relationship much more difficult. Yes, she says, it'll definitely be difficult to keep the relationship going, long distance. Okay, well, I couldn't help myself. I had to make another crack at humor here. So I respond, well, I guess we'll just have to stay seated then, so there won't be any distance at all between us. And alas, crickets. I don't even get a smile from her, let alone a chuckle. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to awkwardly explain the punchline now. So, etymologically at least, a distance is only really a thing when you're standing up. It's a word that most recently had to do with arguing and disagreeing, as we can see in its Middle English and Old French ancestors, distance and distance, respectively. The idea, of course, is that when people argue, they're not on the same page, so to speak, or really in the same place at all, so therefore they stand apart. And if we go up a little further, then we get the Latin distancia, or literally, the act of standing apart, derived from the verb disto. And disto is itself a combination of two parts, the prefix dis, denoting a separation or splitting into two parts, and the verb sto, or to stand, a verb whose descendants some of you speakers of Romance languages may recognize, for example, in modern verbs such as estar in Spanish and Portuguese, and stare in Italian. Although those modern verbs no longer refer specifically to the act of standing, but rather to the act of being. And in these languages, the Latin word distancia likewise evolved into modern equivalents. And what's also interesting is that in a process called a calque, many European languages also developed their own words for distance based on this Latin concept of distancia, such as the Swedish avstånd and the Russian расстояние. So, as we know, nowadays, the word distance most often denotes the amount of physical space between two entities, regardless of whether they're sitting, standing, or just lying there. But, back in the day, distance was all about standing, and specifically about how far apart 2 points, whether they be people or things, stood from each other. So, when my new lady friend shared that she was moving far away and thus exponentially increasing the distance that would stand between us, I thought that maybe making a really bad etymological joke about the word distance would maybe make the news less difficult to process, even if, well, she probably wouldn't find it very funny. And indeed, she didn't laugh at all. But that's okay. It seems that, even though, no matter how we position ourselves, there will still be quite a bit of distance between us once she moves abroad. Apparently, she finds my awkward sense of humor a little bit endearing. And she looks forward to enjoying more of my lame etymology jokes when she returns from the short-term position in a couple months, so I think I'll propose then. Fortunately, this long distance won't be so long, after all. Thanks for watching.